Hey, it's RJ again with Micromelon Toolbox. I'm going to show you how we can create a work order, generate this quote, and then make some adjustments or modifications if we need to before we send it off to our customer. So let's get into this next lesson of training. Now it's time to get this quote prepared and ready to send off. All we have to do is create a work order. But before we get into doing that, I want to make sure that all the information that we're seeing here is up to date. So if you make any changes to the project properties, you want to make sure that those changes have been updated inside of this product list. So to do that, we'll just right-click in the space and select Rebuild Product List. So now if there was a change to the default height or the default depth of your products inside of the project, you'll see that change here. Currently, the settings for this grid aren't showing exactly what I want to see. So to change that, we can go to Grid Settings and change the number of decimal places. And another thing that you can do before creating that work order is verify the material that we're going to use for this quote. This just allows you to do a final review and catch anything that you might have missed. Now, since we had the architectural plans for this project, we're able to use that to place all the products in this product list and generate this quote. But if there was anything that we needed to add on top of the products that we see inside of the plans, we can throw some more money at this quote by using a couple products in our library. You can find these under the miscellaneous category. First one is going to be the price cost based estimating product, and then we'll get into the pricing prime cost product, which is right below it. This product allows you to add any additional time that you need to an activity station. Any minute value that we enter here will be tacked on to what is already set up inside of that activity station. In this one, you can add more additional items selecting from your hardware library. We'll throw on a couple more handles for this project, give it a quantity, and maybe a couple drawer slides as well. So now this will also get included in the quote if we wanted to. But for now, we'll hold off on adding these products, and we'll make a modification in the report to add some additional hours, maybe for something like an after hours install. And now to generate that quote, let's create a work order. We're going to select the work order from the entire product list. So now everything inside of this product list is checked inside of the work order creation window. And now once the work order is finished processing, we can now review this quote. There's no need to process all the parts inside of this work order. Just go to the reports, and then into print reports, and take a look at our cost-based estimating report -quote. And there you can see that we have our total amount for this quote, some of the other information coming in from our project properties, who it was prepared for, who our estimator is, which will be our customer's contact, and then how the project is broken out by each room. It's set up to not show the cost for each individual product, but you can change that by checking the box to display product prices. And keep in mind that this report can be customized any way that you like. So if you don't want to even have those columns appearing on this report, you can change that by going into the report designer to do that. And because this report is completely dynamic, we can make some edits here and change the pricing for this quote. We can change that markup amount, add a custom amount, maybe just extra cost for something, throw another $1,500 at it. Now that $1,500 is taking on the markup and the overhead, so now we have that additional amount showing up in our other costs. So if that looks good, then we're done with this quote. But if we want to, we can edit this report a different way by modifying some of the activity station numbers. So let's do that. Back into our processing center, and then into the activity stations, let's add some additional time for the installation of this project. And since we're in here, we'll also make a change to our shipping labor rate. Now back into the General tab in the reports, we'll take a look at that quote. And there's our increased amount because of those changes that we made in the activity stations. And now, just by unchecking that installation box, we can see it not only changes the cost of the quote, but it also changes the description, letting the customer know that installation is no longer included. And there's even another way that you can make changes to this quote. Going back to the General tab and modify work order. This could be a great way to update material or hardware pricing without having to go back into your spreadsheet and edit it that way. So this can be done directly inside of the work order. Any changes that we make here will take effect immediately and show up on the report. Let's make a change to our white melamine stock material, and let's increase this estimate price. And same can be done with the edge banding and any hardware items that are included in this work order. Now, as we go back into our report, we'll see a new total amount because of that updated material cost. And by displaying those product prices again, we can see the cost of material. And to break it down even further, we can go into the shop quote, which you can use as a company. And there we have our white melamine two-sided. Now I know it doesn't say the cost per sheet, but that cost has gone up. Let's do it again just to test. And by making it $250 a sheet, we'll definitely see the difference. And there it is with our increased unit cost. So those are the ways that you can modify the prices inside of your work order without having to go back into the material database and make the changes there. Now we have this quote that's been prepared and ready to send off to our customer. All right, well, that concludes another training lesson in Microvellum Toolbox. Hopefully you learned a little bit more on how you can make some adjustments or modifications that you need to that project quote. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.